Hello everyone and welcome back to PostNetwork Academy. I am Bindeshwar and in this video I will explain Retrieval-Augmented Generation. So without further delay, let's get started. So let us start with a question. Suppose you ask a large language model like ChatGPT or Gemini that what is the medical history of my uncle? So what will happen? Will the LLM know the answer? No. Why? Because LLMs are trained on public internet data and they do not have access to your private information and they do not know your family members. They cannot access your personal documents and they may generate incorrect or assumed answers. So what is missing there? So the core missing component that access to external, real and personal knowledge, and that is where retrieval augmented generation system comes in. So instead of expecting memory, we give the LLM access to relevant information. So how will you give? Store your documents in a database and convert them into embeddings. So basically, uh, embedding is a vector representation of words, and that is very important in large language models as well as in RAG, Agentic AI, and retrieve relevant information when a query is asked from user. So you have to retrieve relevant information when a query is asked. Thereafter, that information inject into the prompt. See that would automatically be done by RAG, and let the LLM generate a grounded response. So how it would be done? So basically what will happen here, understand, this is very important. Your question or any prompt that would be first of all retrieved from the database. Basically that is a vector database, we will discuss later, and your question, query and retrieved data that would be passed to LLM, and thereafter LLM will generate a grounded response. That is the core idea of LLM, and why that is important. Let us see the architecture. So user query, that would be go to retriever module. Retriever will retrieve database or your query from database. Thereafter, after retrieving, it will send to LLM, and LLM will be responding. You can say that final response that would be contextual answer, not hallucinated or assumed answer. That would be contextual. Now what is the indexing or pipeline? So connect to data sources, it may be SQL, PDFs, Excel, from internet or Google Drive, wherever you want. Extract and clean documents, split into chunks. I will discuss when I would be designing retrieval augmented generation. Convert them into embeddings. As I told you, embedding is very important. So embeddings means vector representation of words, that is embedding, and we will often come across embeddings and store in a vector database. So there are many databases like SQL, there is ChromaDB and many more. So there are two pipelines in RAG. Generation pipeline, so user query like prompt, retrieve similar chunks, that means similar embeddings, chunks or data, and augment to the prompt. Whatever you have written, that would be augmented. That's why one of the reason, or you can say the reason, that its name is retrieval augmented generation. Retrieve from database, augment with your query with that information and pass to LLM. And LLM will respond a grounded answer or contextual answer and generate contextual answers. Now, what is an embedding? So, an embedding is a numerical vector representation of text. We will discuss, that is the core NLP task, and NLP plays very important role in the field of RAG. Actually, language sits on the top of intelligence. That's why among all subfield of AI, NLP sits on the top. And all the concepts of NLP that would be used converts words into numbers, similar meanings, similar vectors, and enables semantic search. And foundation of retrieval in RAG, as I explained you, like diabetes treatment, that would be converted into a vector, that is called embedding. Now, why not simple keyword search? Because keyword search matches exact words. That is not, you can say that semantic, it will not able to extract semantic meaning. Meaning can vary. Example, sugar disease, diabetes, mellitus. Keyword search that will fail, embedding search that will succeed. Now, what is a vector database? That is also a part of RAG. So, a vector database stores embeddings. Like SQL stores tables, so vector database stores embeddings and perform similarity search. Now, that stores high dimensional vectors, 1000 dimension, 300, like this kind of dimension would be of embeddings, and that uses cosine similarity or distance matrices and retrieves top case similar documents. Like similarity, we often use cos theta, that is cos similarity, cosine similarity is called. So what happens during retrieval? User asks a question, thereafter question converted into embeddings, thereafter compare with the stored embeddings. Here already stored embeddings, that would be compare. Thereafter select top case similar chunks. Chunk I will discuss when I would be making programs. Thereafter return them as context, that would be returned as context. See that, very important here, LLM does not search the database directly. Retriever module does. There would be retriever module. That is a module that will search and embed your query or augment your query with this retrieval information and the query of user. Now, what is a prompt augmentation? So, we append retrieved document to the original question. That is basically prompt augmentation that I was discussing about. Final prompt, what would be the final prompt? Question and retrieve documents from the database. Both would be combined and sent to LLM. LLM now sees relevant context and reduces hallucination. Hallucination means cut off of knowledge, or it can say that I don't have data, wrong data it may produce. So that would be reduced. and this is one of the goal of retrieval augmented system and produces grounded answers. So pure LLM relies on parametric memory, means at the time of training there would be memories W1, W2 till you can say that 200 billion, like GPT-3 was of 175 billions. So at that time these parameters are learned. So LLM relies on that memory, but new information comes, how LLM will be modified, and see that there are technique that is called fine tuning, and memory may be outdated, may guess when uncertain. What will happen if only we use parametric memory? Memory may be outdated, may guess when uncertain, as I explained, and RAG provides evidence, means it will retrieve from the database and inject to LLMs with query. So LLM answers based on retrieved text, as I told you. So basically LLM here will be like intelligence system, and query plus retrieved information would be given to LLM, and LLM with answer. So higher factual accuracy and transparency if you use RAG. And you might have seen that like Google AI mode. So every time LLMs or Gemini is not trained for your data, it will just retrieve information from websites, and it would just inject to LLM with your query, and it will give you answer. So AI mode you are just using on Google, that is an example of RAG. There is another method, fine tuning. So directly you will fine tune the weights, means you will modify the weights. That is very expensive, and sometimes it is difficult to, you can say that, update the weights. Very expensive, as I told you, needs retraining, almost retraining. You have to update weights for the new data set, and hard to update, as I told you. RAG keep the model fixed. It will not just modify the weights of the model. So model is as it is. Update database only, external database, fast and scalable and enterprise friendly. Suppose that if you want to deploy in your school, like internal knowledge system, or in your enterprise for your any small shop, and just collect all the information and just convert them into, you can say that, vector database, and use an local LLM. You can use not only chat GPT or this one, use local LLM that have some good accuracy, like Mistral 5.3, 20 billions, GPT. There are many, just you can give trial to one of them. Just take trial or just use them. Now what are real world applications of RAG? As I was explaining, enterprise knowledge assistant, just you can make chatbot for your shop or big mall or any company, and you can just type prompt and it will give you information, local information. Legal document analysis, so just you have collected document, just provide it and it will analyze it. Medical information system can be made. Customer support automation, just give the data and query if puts any customer, so just it will retrieve information and just it will give the answer. Research paper assistance, code based question answering, it can also be done. So RAG is the backbone of modern enterprise AI systems and also backbone for agentic AI. So if you want to learn agentic AI, you have to go through RAG also, Retrieval-Augmented Generation. And high demand in skills, high demand skills, that is 2025 and also 2026 agentic AI has come, but still it is it has importance. So companies need AI system trained on their own data. You can see that. Still, build enterprise chatbots using company documents. It will, again it will require. So that is an AI system that can be helpful for all these kind of tasks. Create AI assistants for law firms, hospitals, startups. Develop internal knowledge search system, also called internal knowledge system, and for any organization it can be built. Build customer support automation tools. Convert PDFs and databases into intelligent AI system. As you know that AI will require huge amount of data. So just you can convert and you can build AI systems. So RAG developers are in massive demand and freelancing. Also, my target for a research and development both and how to earn money. So I will be guiding you how to learn it and also earn, so that your skills, what skills you are learning, you would be able to apply and earn money. So RAG answers questions. Agentic AI, from RAG to agentic AI. RAG answers questions. What is the difference? Agentic AI takes actions. So after RAG, we will also move to agentic AI. Retrieve information, make decisions, call APIs, execute tools, perform multi-step reasoning. So here, retrieve information, that would be also in agentic AI. Make decisions, it can call API, it can execute tools, that is extra, like it can open browser. I am talking about agentic AI. And multi-step reasoning, that is very important. So two things would be added in RAG, and that will become agentic AI. So RAG plus tools, autonomous agents, that would be the future. Now Python library, that is very important. LangChain, that is for RAG, as well as another variant, that is LangGraph for agentic AI. Llama index, that will provide platform, or you can say that you can access data and inject to LLM. That is the Llama index. I will be explaining when I will be Haystack, the similar kind of tool like Llama index. FAISS, Facebook AI similar search, that is used to use for vector search, vector database search, and that is very important. We will also use ChromaDB to store vector databases. OpenAI Hugging Face APIs we will use for sentence embeddings. Fast API, finally if we want to deploy, so we will use Fast API. Streamlit for a GUI, Gradio for Streamlit and Gradio both for a UI. Gradio is actually very popular on Hugging Face, so we can use either one. So Python plus LangChain, FAISS, GPT, Fast API, we can use this stack example and build a RAG system. So running RAG on a local server, so no API cost. What would be the benefit? No API cost, full data privacy. We talk nowadays, we are talking about data privacy. Works without internet, ideal for enterprise and research. If you have local server, so you can try it, and that would be very beneficial for your enterprise. Install Ollama or LLM Studio. That will, these are the tools. Using these tools you can install open source LLMs on your system and you can run. So Ollama and LLM Studio provides environment for LLMs to run. Download local LLM. So Llama you can download, and Mistral. Use FAISS or Chroma for a vector database. Run everything on your machine. So that will ensure data privacy, no API cost, and that is very useful for research and development and also for enterprise application. So deploy with fast API on localhost. So architecture, basically user, retriever, give to local LLM and response. Now you can deploy RAG on cloud. So collect client documents, PDF, CSV, web. Of course you have to clean and split data. Create embeddings, that is very important. Store in vector database like ChromaDB. Build retrieval plus LLM pipeline. You have to build how to do all the things. Create web interface, and thereafter deploy on cloud like AWS from Amazon, Azure from Microsoft, and GCP from Google. And client gets a private AI assistant trained on their own data. So nowadays clients require this kind of, you can say that, tools. So you can approach them. Where to find freelance work? So Upwork, Freelancer, Fiverr, Topal, LinkedIn AI consulting you can just try it. But Upwork and Freelancer you will get the most direct output. So you can position RAG as agentic AI developer on Freelancer or anywhere. AI is transforming our industry, and enterprises need private AI system. So RAG is practical and implementable. Freelance can build a real solution. If you build real solution, really clients will love and they will pay. Startups founders can build AI products. So if you master RAG plus agentic AI today, you become future ready. You might be learning or listening about agentic AI recently. Just Anthropic has launched, that was agentic AI. Just retrieval-augmented generation plus multi-step reasoning, and stock market just got down. So you can see that you can just build it, and I will train you. So hope you understood. For more information you can reach www.postnetwork.co. YouTube channel handle is @PostNetwork Academy. LinkedIn, that company PostNetwork Academy. GitHub you can reach using the same name. So hope you understood. Thanks for watching the video.